You rode a 15-year-old boy straight into his grave. And the rest of us, straight to hell. Straight to hell. Bonnie, you are not a god. Why don't you pull the trigger and find out?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm Gen X Dave. This is Gen X Unchained, but everybody calls me Dave now. And with me is my co host, Moken Double. What's good, bud?
Oh, not much.
Tonight, we are talking about Billy the Kid, the Lincoln County Wars, and Brushy Bill Roberts. Now,
And I'm going to sit back and listen because I really don't know much about Billy the Kid.
all right, well, I'm going to give you an education lesson. You ready for this?
Let's go.
Henry McCartney is his real name.
Okay.
He was either born September 17th or November 23rd, 1859.
Either or month, huh?
Yeah, remember back in those days, they didn't keep track of birth certificates, this and that, and the other thing. There wasn't very much.
Okay.
He was born in New York City.
1834, you said?
It was 18, yeah, 19 or 1859. 1859.
1859.
181859.
Okay.
Um, he was born in New York. They said he died July 14th, 1881, at the age of 21 in Fort Sumter, New Mexico, by Pat Garrett.
And ladies and gentlemen, 100 years later, I was born.
Anywho, his alias is William H. Bonney, better known as Billy the Kid. He was an outlaw, gunfighter, the Old West. He was also a cattle rustler. A lot of people don't know that either. He liked to play cards. He liked poker.
Right.
He also, for a little bit, ran with the James gang. Jesse James tried to recruit him to be a part of the gang, and rumor has it that Billy the Kid turned it down and said no.
Good on him.
He was orphaned at the age of 15. His first arrest was for stealing food at the age of 16 in
He was hungry.
1875. Uh, Later, he robbed a Chinese laundry. He was arrested again, but escaped shortly afterwards.
Mhm.
He fled from the New Mexico territory into neighboring Arizona territory, making himself both an outlaw and a federal fugitive. In 1877, he began to call himself William H. Bonney.
Okay.
Okay. After killing a blacksmith during an altercation in August 1877, Bonney became a wanted man in Arizona, and he returned to New Mexico under that name, that alias.
Okay.
He
That's
ran
kind of cool.
into a guy named Tunstall. Tunstall had a ranch, okay, um, in New Mexico in the Lincoln County area, okay. Uh,
Okay.
Tunstall was a Brit.
Okay.
Uh, and he joined Tunstall and Tunstall's group of regulators. Okay, so they were known as the Lincoln County Regulators. Okay,
And what did these regulators do?
well, they ran a Tunstall-owned marketplace, opened up a bank. Um, he went up against this other guy uh, named Dolan. Okay, and Dolan had his own store, but he had a monopoly in the area before Tunstall showed up. Plus, he had a cattle ranch, so he had it pretty much monopolized. Had a cattle ranch
I smell
bar
trouble.
and had a store, convenience store.
I smell
Tunstall moved
trouble.
in. Yeah, Tunstall moved in, hooked up with a lawyer, uh, and the lawyer in Tunstall opened up their own store, their own cattle ranch, and a bank. Okay. So this goes on. They're fighting and feuding. Well, part of Dolan's group, Dolan's gang, sent some lynchmen, 4 of them, and shot and killed Tunstall.
Oh no.
Yeah, which therein lies Billy the Kid and the regulators to get deputized by the aging sheriff to go after these guys with warrants. Well, the governor heard about it and told and uh, revoked their officer, revoked their badges from them being peace officers.
Oops.
And the reason is because he was bought into Dolan's Crusaders. He was bought in. He had contracts
Right.
with the army and the president and government, cattle ranch, and this and that, And Tunstall wanted in on that.
Right.
Uh, so he was a cowboy, he was a ranch hand, he was a gambler, he was a horse thief, and an outlaw.
Hmm.
Billy the Kid was no joke, man.
I knew the outlaw.
You know. So, with that being said, he did a lot of stuff, man. I mean, he moved around a lot in a very short period of time. Um, so oh my God. Okay, the Lincoln County War. After returning to New Mexico, Bonnie worked as a cowboy for an English businessman and rancher, John Henry Tunstall, from 1853 to 1878 near the Rio Felix, a tributary of the Pe- uh, Pecos River in Lincoln County, now in Chavez County. Tunstall and his business partner and lawyer, Alexander McSweeney, were opponents of the alliance formed by Irish American businessmen Lawrence Murphy and James Dolan and John Riley. The 3 men had uh, wielded an economic and political hand over Lincoln County since the early 1870s, due to part of their ownership of a beef contract with nearby Fort Stanton and a patronized dry goods store in the town of Lincoln. Okay. By February 1878, McSweeney owed $8,000 to Dolan, who obtained a court order and asked Lincoln County Sheriff William J. Brady to attach nearly $40,000 worth of Tunstall property and livestock Tunstall put Bonnie in charge of 9 prime horses and told him to relocate them to his ranch for safekeeping. Meanwhile, Sheriff Brady assembled a large posse to seize Tunstall's cattle. On
Hmm.
February 18th, 1878, Tunstall learned of the posse's presence on his land and rode out to intervene. During the encounter, one member of the posse shot Tunstall in the chest, knocking him off the horse. Another posse member took the Tunstall's gun and killed him with a shot to the back of his head. Tunstall's murder ignited a conflict between the two factions that became known as the Lincoln County Wars.
Gee, I wonder why.
You don't poke the bear unless you want to get bit.
I mean,
You know,
honestly,
Granted, Billy the Kid was already a criminal right before all this happened. He's already
right.
killed a man in Arizona. He stole a bunch of stuff in New Mexico. He was
Well,
already,
that was because he was hungry.
well, yeah, but he was still already a wanted man.
True.
So it ain't like he could, just all of a sudden hook up with a rancher and become, uh,
Mr. Straight.
yeah. All right.
Straight as an arrow. No crimes here.
All righty. After Tunstall was killed, Bonnie and Dick Brewer uh, swore affidavits against Brady and those in his posse and obtained murder warrants for Lincoln County Justice of the Peace, John B. Wilson, who I told you was aging.
Yeah.
All right. On February 20th, 1878, while attempting to arrest Brady, the sheriff and his deputies found and arrested Bonnie and 2 other men during uh, riding with him. Deputy Marshal Roberts uh, Weinman, a friend of Bonnie, and a detachment of soldiers captured Sheriff Brady jail guards, put them behind bars, and released Bonnie and Brewer. So Bonnie then joined the Lincoln County Regulators on March 9th. The capture of Frank Baker and William Morton, both of whom were accused of killing Tunstall. Baker and Morton were killed while allegedly trying to escape. On April Fool's Day, April 1st, regulators ambushed Sheriff Brady and his deputies. Bonnie was wounded in, uh, in the thigh during this battle. Brady and Deputy Sheriff George W. Hinman were killed. So that's where Billy the Kid really started to be on the run, was right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because you killed the sheriff. Oh well. On the morning of April 4th, 1878, Buckshot Roberts and Dick Brewer were killed during a shootout at Blazer's Mill. Warrants were issued for several Patriot participants on both sides, and Bonnie and 2 others were charged with killing Brady, Hindman, and Roberts. I don't know how you could charge somebody with murder if they had warrants to go get them. But anyway, they end up burning McSweeney's house down, just like in the movie. They also
What,
killed McSweeney, the attorney, the
what,
partner of Tunstall.
here's the thought behind that. Okay. The reason they can get the warrants for the people that killed the people with the warrants, right? That's what
Right.
we're asking.
Right.
Okay.
It's
So,
like they had warrants for each other by different officers,
well,
by different
it
courts
could have
of
been the
law.
same thing because the people that got killed with the warrants didn't have due process. So therefore, the other people got warrants put on them for killing the people with the warrants.
Right. So as we continue, okay, 1878, okay, on the night of Sunday, July 14th, McSweeney and the regulators, now a group of 50 or 60 men, bro, went to Lincoln and stationed themselves in the town among several buildings. At the McSweeney residence were Bonnie uh, Florencio Chavez, Chavez Y. Chavez, Jim Finch, Harvey Morris, Tom O'Fullard, and Eugenie Salazar, among others. Another group led by Marian Chavez and Doc Skurlock positioned themselves on the roof of the saloon. Henry Newton Brown, Dick Smith, and George Coe defended a nearby adobe bunkhouse. All right. So a lot of that's going on, man. They're getting ready. They're pounding down. They're in the sand, boy. They're setting up for war. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. On Thursday or on Tuesday, July 16th, newly appointed sheriff George Pepin sent sharpshooters to kill the McSweeney defenders at the saloon. Pepin's men retreated when one of the snipers, Charles Crawford, was killed by Fernando Herrera. Pippin then sent a request for assistance to Colonel Nathan Dudley, commander of the nearby Fort Staunton. In a reply to Pepin, Dudley refused to intervene, but later arrived in Lincoln with troops, turning the battle in favor of the Murphy Dolan faction. Okay, so you can basically guarantee what that happened. They burned his house down. They killed McSweeney. So that means Tunstall and McSweeney are dead. There's no more businessmen. There's no more having to worry about having competition with store versus store and bank versus bank and meat contract versus cattle contract, blah, blah, blah. Right? So have you ever seen the movie Young Guns Smoking?
A long time ago. Very long time ago.
Well, some of that, what's in that movie, is actually true. Okay. Now, as far as the part of the Tunstall store, the Tunstall Ranch, the regulators, the regulator part is a little different. You know what I'm saying? They added that part as if Tunstall's guys were the regulators. That's farthest from the truth. The regulators weren't formed until after. Okay. So after Tunstall was killed. Okay. Billy the Kid, I believe, shot and killed Sheriff George Pepin.
Is that where the song "I Shot the Sheriff" came from?
No. Stop. That song's older than the movie, bud. Anywho, on Tuesday, July 16th, oh, well, we already read that. A gunfight broke out on Friday, July 19th. McSweeney supporters gathered inside the house, which would have been, Buck Powell and Deputy Sheriff Jack Long. They set fire to the building, to the house, like I told you, just like in the movie. That's exactly what they did. They set fire to McSweeney's house and killed McSweeney. The occupants began shooting. Bonnie and the other men fled the building when all rooms but one was burning. During the confusion, McSweeney was shot and killed by Robert W. Beckwith, who was then shot and killed by Bonnie. Bonnie blew his brains out.
I guess she was tired of the corruption.
Well, here's the thing. Billy the Kid didn't live for very long, so they say. They say Pat Garrett killed him A lot of people don't believe that. Me
Yeah,
on the
but what age did was he whenever he died? Supposedly,
who Bonnie, who Billy the Kid.
no. Yeah,
Billy the Kid was 21 supposedly. And that's what's the cool thing is because we'll fast forward, okay? Say, we'll go, let's jump history a little bit, okay? They say he died July 14th, 1881 at 21 at Fort Sumner, New Mexico, right?
okay.
But there's a guy named Brucey Bill Roberts who in 1940 said he was born December 31st, 1859, which is also another birthday of William H. Henry Roberts. Okay.
Yeah.
Ole Partridge William Roberts, Ole, and Ole L. Roberts. Now, look, we all know Billy the Kid had multiple different names. How do we even know
Yeah.
his true first name and last name is Henry McCartney?
Right.
If you can't even tell me what exactly month and day he was born, how is that even possible? Anyway, um, hold on, I'm going
Yeah,
through
I
this
agree
real
with
quick.
you. I agree with you. Who's to say that? I mean, that was his real name because you can't even tell me when he was born.
Okay, you ready to hear this? Here's the crazy shit, bro. All right, in 1948, an investigator from St. Louis, William V. Morrison, located an elderly man named Joe Hines, who had claimed the lands of his deceased brother. Hines told Morrison of his experience in the Lincoln County War and surprised him by claiming that Billy the Kid was still alive but refused to reveal the name he had assumed or exactly where he was living. Morrison continued his search for the man who claimed to be Billy the Kid, and in 1948, an elderly man named Jack J. or John Frank Dalton of Lawton, Oklahoma. That's where my daughter lives. In Lawton, Oklahoma, claims to be Jesse James and said Billy the Kid was still alive in Hamilton, Texas, where he was known as O.L. Roberts.
O.L. Roberts, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we'll jump forward, right? Okay.
Okay.
Now he goes and finds Roberts. Okay. He goes and finds this dude, Roberts. Roberts told Morse that he would agree to tell the whole truth in exchange for a full pardon that Billy the Kid had been promised by Wallace following the Lincoln County War. His sudden appearance and request for a pardon had a profound effect on Garrett's descendants. Bushy Bill claimed to have been born William Henry Roberts in Buffalo Gap, Texas, near Abilene, on December 31st, 1859, but was known to use other several aliases during his life, which we all know. So that's saying Billy the Kid wasn't born in New York.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it would make sense why he's in the Southern Territories, not in the Eastern Territories,
Yep.
right? It would make sense, right? So what if they had it all wrong, where he was born? How do they know for a fact? They don't even know what month or what day he
Exactly.
was born.
Exactly. So, I mean, and back then, they didn't have vehicles, they didn't have cars. It wasn't a 23-hour trip from one coast to the other, or 48-hour trip, or however long it takes. It was years back then to travel that
Yeah.
far. Like a bunch of years.
I'm just saying.
A
Do you,
handful of years
do
at
you
least.
think? Do you really believe Pat Garrett killed him? Come on, man. Him and Pat Garrett was friends, bro.
I
Before
mean,
Pat Garrett put on that badge, they
it
were
probably
friends,
depends on the situation, but I mean, probably who knows? Who
bro. I
knows?
don't know. All I know is that I don't think he killed him. I think he killed somebody else, thinking it was Billy the Kid. Okay, it's all known. Pat Garrett's horse got stolen right after that. And who's a horse thief?
Billy,
Okay, and you know what his
unfortunately.
rule was? He never stole a horse from anybody he didn't like. Come on, man. Let's put it together. I don't care what all these supersonic historians have to say all over YouTube doing the same thing, talking about Billy the Kid. I'm reading off what is given to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
But this Brushy Bill Roberts, okay, he has all the same scars as Billy the Kid would have had. He also has signed affidavits from multiple witnesses stating that he is Billy the Kid. You know,
Okay. So
but you
why?
got to remember that was 1948. There was no real way to keep track of all that information.
Right. There wasn't no IDs back then. There was a written statement saying this is what the child's name is. And I mean, who knows if that's even right, you know? Back then, back
And
then,
his niece, Brushy Bill Roberts' niece, definitively stated that her uncle, Brushy Bill, was named Oliver P. Roberts and was not Billy the Kid. How does she know?
yeah. I mean, all she knows is what's been told to her.
Bro, you know how far away family members lived from each other back in the day?
Well,
How
I
many times
mean,
you get to travel and see somebody from 1900 to 1950? How many times did you travel to go see your family members? And if you're a niece, obviously you didn't see your uncle a lot. How do we know this for a fact? You know what I'm saying?
you don't.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know nothing,
Hold on.
honestly.
Hold on. Check
No.
this out. Roberts had claimed that he was a member of the Jesse James gang, which he was not. He rode with them for a little bit, but he did not want to join the gang. That we know for a fact.
Right.
Okay. So that we know for a fact.
I'll be right back.
All right. Deciding to come out as authentic Billy the Kid in January of 1950, Brushy Bill claimed he was a member of the James Younger gang as a teenager and identified J. Frank Dalton as Jesse James. See, the one thing about Jesse James is this too. A lot of people say he didn't die either. That he didn't get killed the way they said he did. But that'll be another story for another time. We'll just stick with Billy the Kid right now. The investigator Morrison from St. Louis vouchsafed that upon examining Brushy Bill Roberts' stripped body after he died, he showed 26 bullet and knife scars. Morris also attempted to track down former Jesse Evans, gang member Jim McDaniels, and located him in Round Rock, Texas. McDaniels, along with Servio Gallegos, Myrtle Abel, and Jose Montoya, all of whom had known Billy the Kid, signed affidavits verifying their belief that Roberts was, in fact, Billy the Kid, and Sam Jones declined to sign such affidavit. Sam Jones begging off with a statement, "Receive your letter, and sorry, but feel that I cannot sign your affidavit. I am old and I just don't feel like being obligated." So that's what he said. So he didn't want to sign the affidavit. Okay. So there's that. So if they're signing affidavits that they ran with Billy the Kid and that was Billy the Kid, then that means Pat Garrett told a lie.
Right.
He did not kill Billy the Kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean,
And that means
again,
Billy the Kid was not born in New York. He was born in Texas. And his real first name was not Henry McCartney. You know, it was Ole. So if what this is saying is true, I'm not saying that it is true. I'm just throwing that out there. If this is all what is to be believed, now it wasn't until the movie Young Guns 2 when Brushy's story was told at the beginning and at the end of the movie. If you watch Young Guns 2, you'll remember, because they portrayed a guy from 1940s looking for this man, you know, and found him, and that's where the story began of him being Billy the Kid.
right.
So it's just funny how they want to pull the remains of Billy the Kid, who they think is Billy the Kid, and do a DNA analysis of the one that's buried, the guy that they claim to be Billy the Kid at Fort Sumner.
Why?
Because if it wasn't Billy the Kid and it was some Mexican that Pat Garrett killed,
How do they know?
DNA, bro. The DNA.
He got his DNA.
Bro, if the DNA comes back as a Hispanic male and not a Caucasian male, that will tell you that Pat Garrett did not kill Billy the Kid. Does that not? Because Billy the Kid's not Hispanic. Am I right?
Well, yeah. You
Okay.
don't know how much Hispanic blood he has in him.
If he has any at all, he was born outside of. If this guy that they say is who Pat Garrett killed is Hispanic male, then that means Pat Garrett did not kill Billy the Kid. Because Billy the Kid is Caucasian. If what they say is true, then that guy that's buried there should come up as a Caucasian male, age 21, 22, and from New York. But if that is not Billy the Kid, then it should be known. Okay?
Yeah, but they don't have Billy the Kid's
They don't
DNA
have.
analysis
No,
to.
they don't. Well, they got ancestors.
But do they?
Yeah. He had cousins. He might even
They
had a
got
couple
their
of brothers out
DNA?
there that he didn't even know, a couple sisters. If they're still alive today, yeah.
And who would know that they
Well,
are related nowadays to Billy the Kid? I
because the
mean,
DNA
maybe
testing
people
today,
100 years ago, that are maybe 100 years old and related to Billy the Kid, but nobody today is saying, "Oh, I was related to Billy the Kid. Here's my
well,
DNA."
hold on, let me look that up. Let's find out.
So yeah, I don't,
What?
I don't, I don't know. I don't know. I hate conspiracies. I hate, you know, trying to lean one way or another, saying, but there's facts over here, and this is what you're trying to tell me, and why why do you not just try to tell me facts? You know what I'm saying? I hate the little telephone game.
Well, too bad because
Oh,
that's
you're
why
not
it's
going to
called a
tell me facts? Then
podcast.
I don't want to
Because
hear it.
I'm going to tell you facts, bro. That's what I'm doing now, you jackass. That's why I'm trying to make sure that
Exactly. But
uh,
but they
I'm telling
they
you the
don't give.
exact truth. Okay. Okay. So
Okay.
he had a sister named Bridget,
Okay.
and it looked like his brother Joseph. All right.
All right.
Joseph took his stepfather's name, Antrim, in 1873. Okay. Um. So yeah, bro. So he had a brother and sister. If they had kids,
Which they probably did.
then there's DNA out there and his family is still alive. Which would tell me that his family is still alive. There's a way to find a DNA test.
Possibly, but do we
Correct.
know who they are?
Correct.
I mean, Bridget, what?
Yeah, of course. All you got to do is that.
Bridget, the kid. I mean,
Bridget McCartney. If they say what is true that he was born in New York, now if that guy is not Billy the Kid, then that means we have to look to the other way of Brushy Bill Roberts, which his niece obviously had kids, and there's kids have kids, so you'd be able to find out that way. Hey, electric going off and on. Sorry about that, bud. I didn't know. Welcome to the show, though, Ray. Appreciate you being here.
Hey, Ray.
Yeah, he says his power is cutting in and out because it's very stormy and bad weather
They
down
need
there
to
right
fix
now.
the poles and the wires, I guess.
Well, you live in Tennessee, bro, mountains, so it's kind of hard to get fix stuff. Anywho, back to what I was saying. So there's a way to do it, bro. So if they go and dig up the body at Fort Sumner, okay,
do a 23andMe on
it won't even be that. You'll just go to their descendant relatives that's still alive today and get DNA.
You need to do the DNA analysis to figure out if they are related. How are you going to do that?
Okay. No shit, Sherlock. They have labs that do that, not just 23andMe and Ancestry, motherfucker. They have scientists all over the U.S. that do that. Labs in almost every known college that do that stuff. Ivy League colleges, anyways. What I'm saying is this right here. Okay. If the guy that is buried at Fort Sumner is not Billy the Kid, then that means Brushy Bill Roberts is, and he was not born in New York City. Okay. That he was born in Texas. Would explain why he ran the New Mexico and Arizona territories.
That would explain a lot. Yeah.
I mean, not to say people from New York didn't head west. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people headed west in the 1800s, you know? What I am saying, though, is there's a possibility and a chance that Pat Garrett did not kill this dude.
Yeah, there's totally a chance. Totally a great possibility.
So you know, in 2004,
just saying, back then, Mexicans were a dime a dozen.
You want to tell me why the courts stepped in and said no in September of 2004? Said you cannot exhume either body, Brushy Bill Roberts or so-called Billy the Kid at Fort Sumner?
Dude, do you know, if you touch them caskets, they're gonna disintegrate.
It doesn't matter.
If they're not gone already.
Well, then it doesn't matter then.
If they haven't disintegrated already,
here is my thing.
If you touch them, they're done.
Here is my thing. The only thing I could see why the court stopped it is if Pat Garrett's descendants fought against it because they didn't want Garrett's name to be rubbed in the mud for being wrong. I don't care about their name. I don't care about their legacy. I don't care about Pat Garrett. I want to know if this guy at Fort Sumner or this guy in Hico, Texas, that was buried in Hico, Texas, is freaking Billy the Kid. What's wrong with knowing the truth?
I couldn't tell you.
I can. I could tell you a lot. I could tell you exactly what's wrong. They don't want Pat Garrett's name to be rubbed in the mud for being wrong. My whole theory is this right here. I believe Pat Garrett was such a cool friend with Billy the Kid that Pat Garrett shot and killed someone else. And Billy the Kid was not the one in the room. 3 or 4 people with Pat Garrett went in to shoot Billy the Kid. Okay, let's say this. Okay, this is what we do know. 4 people went in to kill Billy the Kid. 3 people came out.
And Billy the Kid was not one of them.
No, Pat Garrett was one with 2 deputies. The 3rd deputy didn't come back out. What does that tell you?
But that's probably a deputy in that box.
Yeah.
I don't
4
know
went in, 3 came out.
or what deputy, but that's a deputy in that box.
And during the so-called burial of Billy the Kid, the funeral, so-called funeral, Pat Garrett's horse got stolen.
From somebody that wanted to get away.
Billy the Kid only stole horses from people he liked. If he didn't like you, he'd just rather not mess with you. But if he liked you, he stole your horse. And he stole Pat Garrett's horse. I believe that to the fullest, dude.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong. I'm not saying I am wrong. I said I could be. And I'll accept it if I'm wrong. But we won't know until they exhume the bodies.
Which they won't ever do because back then they didn't make caskets out of steel.
No.
What'd they make it out of?
Oh, it was all wood.
What does wood do all over time?
But still though, bro. Wouldn't that be messed up? Wouldn't that be cool to know if they did a DNA test and found out that the guy who is buried at Fort Sumner is not Billy the Kid. And the guy that's buried outside of Hico, Texas is Brushy Bill Roberts.
Well, I mean,
even in all the books, what kills me is the last name, Roberts. In all the history that I've ever read about Billy the Kid, he's always, every now and then, went to the name Roberts.
Yeah.
But if he is related to the ones in New York, and that is his sister, then if he's buried in Hico, Texas, he could have made it south from New York, and he could have ran to live in Texas after he supposedly was killed.
Do we have anything before, like, whenever he was, I don't know, 14, 15
Yeah,
years old.
yeah. His family, his dad died. His mom, uh, and his
And when was
stepdad.
all
Pretty
that
much,
happening?
his mom and his stepdad pretty much threw him out on the streets at the age of 14, and he caught his
Okay,
first
where
or
did
at the age
that
of
happen?
15. That or yeah, hold on. Let's see here. At the age of 15, he was orphaned.
Right,
Was first arrested when he was 16, stealing food,
right.
and that
So
was
do
in
we have anything
1885.
before like 15 saying where he was from?
Yeah, it says Henry McCartney, September 17th or November 23rd, 1859, New York City, United States.
Crowley County. Was
So, I
was
mean,
that a jail that's at?
we'll do what?
Is that a jail where he was held or something?
What do you mean, where? Fort Sumner?
No, wherever he was held whenever he got arrested.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll run that back by you again. McCartney was orphaned at the age of 15. He was first arrested was for stealing food at the age of 16 in 1875. 10 days later, he robbed a Chinese laundry and was arrested again but escaped shortly afterwards. Uh, he fled and went to the New Mexico. He fled from New Mexico territory to neighboring Arizona territory, making him both an outlaw and a federal fugitive. Uh, and at the
So
1877, that's when he started calling himself William H. Bonney and came back to
so
the New Mexico territory.
so wait, you went from New York, which
Right?
is way up
Yeah.
here,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
to New Mexico, which is like way down here.
Right. Right.
What
Right.
did he do? Steal a horse from way up here?
Well, I mean, I'd imagine so, man. I mean, come on now. Ray, I do too. I think he lived, bro. I do not believe Pat Garrett killed him. That's that's my whole thing. I believe that to the fullest. uh,
I don't know. It's like back then the I mean New York got cold.
yeah. And when he was a
A
baby
lot of the
orphan,
months out of the year, New York is cold.
now it doesn't talk about why he was abandoned. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let me see here.
And horses don't like that much of cold. They tend to stop jumping.
Uh huh. His younger brother was born in 1863.
Where?
Um, when Billy the Kid, okay, so here it goes. Ready? When Billy the Kid's dad died, following the death, Catherine McCartney, which was Billy's mom, and her sons moved to Indianapolis, Indiana. That's how he would run into the James gang.
There you go.
Okay.
There's the move. Cause I didn't think that it he ran from New York down there. He had to have moved somewhere else with his mom, to know, you know, to
Okay.
know.
Here it goes. After moving okay, they moved from there when his mother met Harrison Antrim. Okay, William Harry Harrison Antrim. Okay, the McCartney family moved with the Antrim to Wichita, Kansas in 1870. After moving again a few years later, Catherine married Antrim. Guess what? Check this out. March 1st, 1873, at the First Presbyterian Church in Santa Fe, New Mexico Territory. Okay.
There it is. Okay.
The McCartney boys served as a witness. Shortly afterward, the family moved from Santa Fe to Silver City, New Mexico, and Joseph adopted Antrim's surname shortly before McCartney's mother died. So that would tell me that's why Billy the Kid went on the run, because his mother died. Okay.
Yep. And he didn't want to
Tuberculosis.
be. He didn't want to be parented
Right.
by
Nope.
his
It's
stepdad.
wrong. Shortly before McCartney's mother died of tuberculosis on September 16th, 1874, William Antrim abandoned the McCartney brothers, leaving them orphans.
It was stepdaddy that left and said, "These kids."
Yep. First crime, he was Billy the Kid was 14. Um, he was arrested again at the age of 16. So he's been on his own since he was 14 years old.
14, 15, he got good at stealing.
Yeah. You know, he just slipped up and got caught.
I mean, he was hungry. They had to do something. Ain't that how that all goes sometimes?
Then Billy the Kid runs into his stepfather, located his stepfather, and stayed with him until his stepfather threw him out again. So McCartney stole his clothes and his guns from him. It was the last time they ever saw each other.
Too bad he wasn't the one in the casket.
And this is where he become a cattle rustler, worked on ranches, you know, so at that time. So there's that. But yeah, a lot of things. The Lincoln County War is crazy, bro. How all
Yeah,
that
that's nuts.
But
Hey, Ray,
listen,
I like your new picture.
huh?
Oh, his new picture.
Ray's new picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. Big ass glasses, big ass shades. Future looks bright. So here we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, leave it in the comments. Do you think, after hearing this episode and listening to us chatter on, do you think William H. Bonney, Henry McCartney, was killed at Fort Sumter by Pat Garrett? Or do you think Pat Garrett killed the wrong man? Billy the Kid got away and changed his name to Brushy Bill Roberts. That's what I think happened.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what I think happened. Let us know in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, what you think. Leave us comments, you know, give us thumbs up, you know, let us know. But if you like this type of content, just go ahead and click that like button and hit that subscribe button. Next week, we'll be talking about, I don't know, what do you want to talk about next week, bud? You want to do an open mic?
We'll figure it out.
and want to do an open mic, try to find some guests.
I love guests.
Yeah,
Yeah. Let's find us a guest.
let's find us maybe a couple of them. Maybe I could get the whole crew from Unchained Down the Rabbit Hole to join us next Monday. What's up, 2-4?
4. Well, I mean, that is an hour.
Yeah, it is an hour, but we could go a little bit longer. I'm just saying. So next week we'll do a open mic night. Anyone who wants to join could join. I believe Billy the Kid did not get killed by Pat Garrett and lived and went on the run. When he went on the lam,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying whether he did or not because I don't know. I that's something I
this
can,
is why I
you
want them.
know,
I want them to go back and dig up the grave of Billy the Kid at Fort Sumner and dig up the grave of Brucey Bill Roberts. Okay? And the reason why I say that is because if Pat Garrett didn't shoot Billy the Kid at Fort Sumner, then I want to know whose body that is buried in that grave. Then that tells me he did escape. That tells me he stole Pat Garrett's horse and went off to Texas.
which is probably what happened
I'm just saying.
because he was a known horse thief.
He was a known horse thief. He was also a cattle rustler, a rancher, a cowboy, an outlaw.
Yeah.
So that's how that goes. Brucey Bill Roberts, Billy the Kid, William H. Bonney, Henry McCartney, Henry Roberts, other names that he went by. You know what I mean? That's the most mysterious outlaw of the West, is Billy the Kid. So if that is really him, then he has ancestors still living to this day. They just
Would
changed
seem
their
so.
name. Do what?
It would seem so.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I mean,
find
when a
out the
woman gets married, her name changes anyway, or it used to. Nowadays, you can uh, say whether or not it changes.
or if my wife dies before I am, I'm putting her maiden last name with my last name. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? That way people know. You know what I'm saying? If they're
right,
looking at family history, well, she was married to David. Where's her? Oh, this is her grave. You know what I'm saying? Or
right.
whatever.
Ah,
It's like supposedly rumor had it about Billy the Kid that he uh, taught my supposed great uncle Doc Holliday how to shoot a 6-shooter, and Doc is the one that taught him how to play cards, or vice
hmm.
versa, or something like that.
Well, he's known to be good at cards and known to be good at shots.
Maybe we'll go into the Battle of Tombstone. Maybe we'll go into talking about Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp and all of that. Maybe we might not. It all depends. But yeah, if next Monday you want to do open mic, we'll just do open mic and find some guests. Anybody want to join can join. Just hit us up. Let us know.
Email scrolling underneath.
Oh, what? No, it ain't.
It was, wasn't it?
It will be now. Boom.
Well, there it is.
Let us know.
GenXUnchained1@gmail.com.
Or just leave a message, in the chats or whatever, and
Yep.
just say, hey, I'll be a guest, open floor, open mic, talk
Because
about
we
anything.
don't have no scammers yet.
Yeah. So do. Anywho,
I'm predicting the future.
are you
Hey, we get big enough, we'll have scammers in the chat saying,
scammers?
"Oh,
Scam people?
yeah, trying to scam people."
Well, why would who's gonna scam anybody?
You know, there's some people that make the name and they'll act like the channel person, whoever's on the
Oh, you're saying
channel,
they're gonna
and
act like
saying,
us.
"Yeah,
Well, look, bro, we get up to 10,000
we're not
subscribers.
that big yet."
If we get up to 1,000 subscribers, how are we gonna freaking know?
No,
You get what I'm saying?
we will know because it'll be us that they're mocking, and no, it's not a flag. This is a blanket, and so is this. This one's more thick than this. It's
I would
not
have
a
just
flag.
called it. I would have just called it tapestry, bro.
There, I mean, I'm weird. I have blankets hanging from my wall. It's okay.
Yeah.
I like my blankets hanging from my walls. Makes them look good instead of white.
I want to get a bunch of these stickers.
Yes,
I want to get like 300 of them and send them out to subscribers.
I love them.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe 3D print some authentic orange Harley Davidson valve stem caps for Harley tires. I could 3D print those all day long.
Yeah, Hardly ain't got a patent on that.
No, and the best thing is the top of the valve stem. Uh, on top of the extra insulation. Also soundproof, helps it be more soundproof, not echoey. Um, on the top of the valve stem cap of the one I have on file that I could 3D print right now, on the top it has the actual Harley Davidson emblem and it says Harley Davidson in the center of it. So it's like to help you twist them off on and off,
Right,
But they're cool as shit.
right on.
They're hard as hell to 3D print though. You have to use supports for that top piece. Otherwise, it just ain't
bet.
right. It just won't print right at all. So, there's that. So,
Yeah, I don't have.
in the
I
bow
don't
stem
really
caps,
print.
and in the bow stem caps, you have to take a tap and die and rethread it to thread it so it actually screws on and off.
Just get some plastic, melt the plastic inside whatever you're doing,
What
shove it
happens when
on.
your front tire goes low and you need to air it up?
You unscrew it.
All right, I got you 2-4. I'll get some orange 3D printer filament. I don't know when that'll be able to happen, but I'll try to get some, and I'll 3D print a whole bunch of them. I'll print them in different sizes just in case, because every valve stem is different. Not all of them are the same size as far as the threading is going. So if I print it too big and you try to thread it and it just slides on and off, those are no good. But if I print it small enough but have thick enough walls on it, you could use the tap and die to thread it, and that way it'll go on without falling off with the vibration or rolling down the road. So
Just go ahead and get you a little hot piece of metal and stick down in there, and then stick it on your valve stem, and then unscrew it. You'll be fine.
dude, don't listen to Moken. He don't know a damn thing he's talking about. Okay, first off.
Okay.
But I could 3D print Harley Davidson wall signs that you could hang on your wall. Harley Davidson emblem looking like shadow box type things. Yeah, I could 3D print a whole bunch of stuff. If you haven't checked out my shorts 224, you can check out some of my shorts that has 3D printed dragons and stuff that I've done. I'm going to start showing a lot more stuff on shorts when it comes to 3D print. And that way people know what I'm doing. So, but yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff out there, man, that I could 3D print. So if you could think of something, I could probably print it as long as I could find the file for it. That's nothing new. I printed Moken a bunch of middle fingers, didn't I, Moken?
Yep. And I still got 2 of them hanging right outside my door at each corner, and 2 of them right above my sink on each side. So
Awesome, bro. Yeah, so what else did I 3D print you?
some skull back valve stem covers or valve stems,
Did
some little leaves,
Holly,
yeah,
hey, is that dragon I
and
printed Beth accessible?
I believe so.
Go grab it so you can show
Maybe,
2-4
maybe.
or one of the dragons, any of them. Do 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 do. Twilight Zone with this dude. I swear. His brain moves faster than his mouth half the time. Anywho, we've been talking about Billy the Kid and Brucey Bill Roberts. Are they two and one and the same? We don't know. Pat Garrett killed Billy the Kid at Fort Sumner? We don't know. Until DNA test proves otherwise, we ain't gonna know. I would like to think, and I believe, that Billy the Kid was not killed at Fort Sumner, and Pat Garrett's accounts for what happened is wrong. But the mystery will still continue until they do a DNA test. And obviously, as of 2004, that's all been denied. And the courts had blocked it. And I think Pat Garrett's relatives that are still living are the ones that stopped it.
Okay, she did have some accessible.
Okay. How about the big one with the spread wings?
She loves that one.
Okay. Get it as close to the camera as possible. Yeah, that's one of the dragons I 3D printed her with glow in the dark wings. Right there,
That's my
2-4.
favorite out of all of them.
Yep. That is.
There's this one.
And then I got her a couple articulated dragons, or one, or I don't remember how many.
I got a lot of
I
them.
do Falcor too.
Yes, you did do me Falcor. Here's another one
Falcor.
of my favorites.
Yeah. I forgot about
The
him.
middle of the street.
Yeah. That is nice. Yeah, I forgot about.
You want me to go get Falcor?
No, you don't have to. If you can, Beth, later on, if you wouldn't mind, put them on your kitchen table and take like a 30-second video of them where they got show all the color and send it to me. That way I could post it up on YouTube for a short.
Okay. I'll have Luke help me do that.
Alrighty. Or Luke, you could do it either way. It don't matter. If you don't mind. Don't look at me like that, dude. The hell's wrong with you, bro? I swear to God. Don't make me find a new co-host. Start doing it myself. I have been able to successfully do one gargoyle. And that was for a customer last year, a friend of mine whose husband is a gargoyle fanatic. My wife is too, but there's not a lot of gargoyle stuff out there to 3D print. So I could try to find some, but I ain't gonna guarantee they're gonna be, worth. It's hard to find them. Yeah, that's Falcor from Neverending Story, and he glows in the dark. Yeah, so is that another one too, Moken? Oh, I forgot about him. That's why I wanted you to take pictures of them all on when they're all together, a video of it. Yeah, that's how big that dragon is. Yeah, nice.
What's that? About 2 foot?
Yeah, that's about 23.5 inches. Yeah, about almost 2 foot. Yep, Matt's got glow in the dark with it too. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I forgot about that one. That's why I said take a video of them.
You made her, and she
Yeah,
loves the rest of them.
yeah.
Also. So you want me to take a video of all of them?
Put them all on the kitchen table next to each other and take a small 30-second walk around the table of them.
Man, they will be on the floor because I ain't got that much room on the table.
Well, you do what you can. Do 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 do. Don't mean to sing. We're gonna shoot off some rounds right now. Anywho, so I guess we're done with Billy the Kid. We did a whole hour on Billy the Kid. We're done with him. So that is one thing in history that everybody would like to know. Who killed Billy? Did he die of natural causes or was it back here? Oh, why are you doing with that with the octopus, bro? Oh yeah, the octopus that glows in the dark. I forgot about him too. Yep. I don't know why you put him on the mic like that, you retard. Oh, are we not supposed to say those words like that these days? Is that little what I call bullying? I don't care. I'm Gen X. Why do I care? Anywho.
But yes, she really loves all of them, and she enjoys having them.
Well, that's good. I'm happy that's like that. But let's go ahead and get out of here and call it one, and then we'll talk later on this week, Moken. Get some things together for open mic night a week from today. I'm supposed to be taking over as manager August 18th. So we're going to have a few more lives. We're going to have a few more podcasts, except for we're going to switch it up.
And let us know
Yeah, yeah. Let us know about anything you guys want to talk about. I mean, last two sessions I haven't been happy-go-lucky and excited and blah 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 blah, and this and that and the other thing, but it is what it is. You know. 2-4, thank you, man, for joining us. Ray, thank you for joining us. Whoever else out there, thanks for joining us. If you like this show, please hit a like and leave a comment and hit subscribe button. And if you would like to help the show out, there's how you do it right there. And I am Dave. That's Smoking. This is Gen X Unchained, and we're out of here, bro.